And welcome everybody watching on IMCA.tv and also catching a free preview right now on Facebook. IMCA.tv's Facebook page as we get ready for heat race number 2 of the IMCA Modifieds here at the IMCA Freedom Nationals, brought to you by Crandall Pest Control. Chaz Baca Jr. just won the opening heat race. And on the pole for heat race number 2 in the EMD Wraps Dylan Irvin Foundation 2X is going to be Roy Poling. To the outside of him in the LA Prep South Bay Appliance 5B is Brenda Kirby. Inside row number 2 in the A1 Materials Weir's Machine Cool Engineering 77X is Austin Cool with the Arizona Differential King Dyno Precision Performance number 8. That's Nate Warren. And row number 3, the third and final row in the Richards Foothill Automotive 4G is Brian Gray out of Yuma, Arizona. And it's the Chaparral Glass Johnson Statewide Caulking, Daily Motorsports, GAT Racing, GRT Race Cars, 22 of Brian Miller, rounding out the field of 6. As field getting set here, kind of working the track in a little bit. Little slick there in heat race number 1. So it's been a great weekend of racing so far. Some awesome main events across all 5 divisions. So we have the IMCA Modifieds, IMCA Sport Mods, Stock Cars, Hobby Stocks, and the Sport Compacts all with us here this weekend. Ready to close out the 2023 Freedom Nationals.
All right, guys, here we go.
So lights will go out. And we will go green this next time by at the cone.
Hold your speed or I'm going to put you to the back. Don't do that again.
Looking for the green flag at the cone. It's in the air. We're underway. And it's going to be Roy Poling leading the field down the back straightaway with Brenda Kirby in second, Austin Cool in the third spot in the 77X, followed by Nate Warren in the number 8 machine. Field single file as Austin Cool gave a little look to the inside of Brenda Kirby. They are side by side behind Cool though, as Nate Warren and Brian Miller, they go side by side. Miller to the inside of Warren. He'll complete the pass and take over the 4th spot off of 2. So move Brian Miller into a 4th as Brenda Kirby washed up the racetrack in turn number 3. That opened up the door briefly for Austin Cool, but Cool couldn't do anything with her. Kirby still hanging on to that 2nd spot with Roy Poling in the race lead as Miller now inside of Austin Cool. They work side by side down the back chute. It will be Brian Miller taking over that 3rd position. Here comes Cool back down to his inside as they are catching the back bumper of that 5B of Brenda Kirby. Brenda Kirby leads the field off of turn right now has 2nd off of turn number 2 with Brian Miller in tow. Miller almost made contact with the backside of Kirby as they go side by side off of 4 down the front straightaway. Everybody's chasing Roy Poling in that 2X. He's out front by about a full straightaway right now as they're still side by side for 2nd. Now give it to Brian Miller as Brenda Kirby having a little handling issue that time getting off of turn 2. All right, now that 5B very slow through 3 and 4. Looks to be a little tight right now as Austin Cool pulls to her inside. He's going to complete the pass, move Cool up to 3rd. And Brian Miller slowly but surely catching up the 2X of Roy Poling as they work off of turn number 4. Just 2 laps to go here in this 2nd heat race of the night for your IMCA Modifieds. Roy Poling, that lead that he had, that was a full straightaway, has now dropped about 4 cars as Miller drives it in deep into turn number 3. White flag in the air. Well, it was a full straightaway, has now turned into 2 car lengths as Poling has issues off of turn 4 down the front stretch that time. Miller right up to the back bumper off of turn number 2. One final time around here in heat race number 2. It's Roy Poling out front. The lap car, Brian Gray right in front of him. Here comes Miller to the inside. He's going to sneak by and win heat race number 2. Poling comes home in 2nd. 3rd will be Austin Cool. Brenda Kirby will hang on to 4th. And Nate Warner rounds out your top 5. O'Brien Miller from the 6th starting spot wins heat race number 2. Very fast hot rod here this evening. As we get ready for heat race number 3 for the modifieds, on the pole in the Bender Racing Precision Performance, Pace Racing and Fabrication, Schaefer's Racing Oil number 95 out of Kearney, Arizona is Jacob Pace. This is Tropic Car Wash. NCC Pools, Blue Street Signs, TAD Solar, On Tap Water Solutions, 55, that is Marvin Mueller out of Yuma. This is Team Harris Auto Racing, Rent a Wheel, Rent a Tire, Cuban Cafe, number 24R of Regan Tafoya out of Farmington, Mexico. Last night's second place runner is Regan Tafoya. He'll start this race inside of row number 2, and to the outside of him in a Desert BMW United Safe Services TDR Concepts. 26 is Trevor Miller out of Chandler. This is the ProTech Automotive Performance Hughes Racing Chassis Freezer Performance 02LZ of LZ Conover out of Yuma, Arizona, with the Amsoil Engine Ice Mom and Dad. Sponsor 114, that is Sean Connors. So lights will go out. So looking for the green flag here this next time by. 19 cars for the IMCA Modifieds. Everyone will make the main event. We have 26 sport mods, so we'll have a B main in that division. As green is out, we're underway. Another 8 laps on the docket. And last night's third place finisher, Marv Mueller, was battling 95 of Pace for that top spot, but couldn't quite complete the pass. Now they go side by side once again off of 4, but will be Pace, your race leader. Pace leads the field into turn number 1, followed by Mueller in the 2nd spot. Then Regan Tafoya in the 26 machine of Trevor Miller, battling side by side. Give the 3rd spot to Miller. Has Mueller now in that 55. Once again, looks to the underneath. That number 95 of Pace, as he has a big head of steam right now. It's the 26 of Trevor Miller. Trevor Miller thought he was going to complete a pass on the high side. Couldn't quite get it done. So it's going to be Bender, Mueller, Miller. Now they're side by side for 4th. Regan Tafoya, the inside of Sean Connors. Jacob Pace hanging on to that top spot as we got a battle for 2nd now. Give it to Trevor Miller. He made quick work of that 55 of Mueller with Sean Connors in tow right now, trying to work his way up to 3rd. There's a lot of different lines being ran out here at Deuce Club's Thunder Raceway. Sean Connors almost ran up into the wall off of turn number 4 as Jacob Pace has an issue. Trevor Miller, he's going to look for the top spot. They drag race down the back straightaway into turn number 3. It's Miller and Pace side by side. Pace up top, Miller down low. Give it to the 26 of Miller. He comes right across the nose of the 95 machine of Pace. At 26, Trevor Miller, he will take the top spot and drive away by about 3 car lengths down the back chute as Marv Mueller now looks to the inside of Pace. That is a battle for 2nd, and here comes Sean Connors back to his outside. Sean Connors back to the outside of the 55 of Marv Mueller. That's a battle for 3rd on track. If Connors can get back in the throttle, he might be able to reel in that 95 of Pace. White flag in the air this time for your race leader, Trevor Miller, the 26. And Sean Connors took my advice and kept her in the throttle up on the top side. Is reeling in that 95 now of Pace. One final time off of turn number 2 for the 26 machine of Trevor Miller. He will come through 3 and 4 by about 10 car lengths. Checker flag in the air. He'll win the 3rd and final heat race in the IMCA Modifieds, followed by Pace, Connors, Mueller, and Tafoya. All right, IMCA Northern Sport Mods back on the racetrack after doing some wheel packing for us earlier on. This is the first of their 4 heat races of the evening. And on the pole, the modern airification methods Atkinson Motorsports, Schaefer Oil. 7X is Casey Murdoch out of Glendale, Arizona with the DCM Motorsports. Bennett Auto and Fabrication, Apex Graphics. 17 out of Apache Junction is Jaden Popes. Inside row number 2 in the Tractor Supply Co. Dale Ottman. Deckers Racing, Reds Trucking, Goodies Speed Center number 55 is going to be Keith Riley out of Yuma, Arizona with Lingo's Lone Wolf Trucking, Spangler Truck and Auto. Competition Carburation number 16 of Aaron Spangler. This one, Momentum Construction, AMW Hardware and Supplies, Bullseye Construction, Klein Engines 06. That's Rex Hazley out of Santan Valley with the Lingo's Lone Wolf Trucking, Spangler Truck and Auto, Midnight Trucking, Banger's Bar and Pizza, Midnight Fuels, 216 of Cameron Spangler out of Dove Creek, Arizona. And rounding out the field is 7 in the Kokopah Speedway, Jeffrey Fabrication, Deacon Dick Racing, McNeese Bros Petroleum Products is the number 3 of Miles Morris out of Yuma, AZ. So 26 Sport Mods with us here tonight to close out the IMCA Freedom Nationals, brought to you by Crandall Pest Control. 7 in the first 2 heat races, then 6 and 6 in the last 2. All right, lights are out. Casey Murdoch, Jaden Popes, your front row, followed by Keith Riley, Aaron Spangler, Rex Hazley, Cameron Spangler, and Miles Morris. These 7 cars looking to turn them loose off of turn number 4. Green flags in the air. We're underway. Jaden Popes did not get going on that initial start, as Casey Murdoch kind of came up the racetrack. Not too sure what happened there on the front row, but we will keep it as Murdoch will lead the field into turn number 3. It's going to be Murdoch off of 4, followed by the 55 of Keith Riley, who took over that second spot. Now they're side by side behind him. The 16 of Aaron Spangler to the inside of Jaden Popes, with Cameron Spangler batting side by side with the 06 of Rex Hazley. Aaron Spangler will move into that third spot. Now C. Spangler, Cameron Spangler, trying to look underneath that 17, but Popes fighting back hard on the outside, trying to pull up side by side once again with the 16 machine of Aaron Spangler. Couldn't quite do anything with him that last time by, as Casey Murdoch washes up the racetrack, left a big old door open for the 55 of Keith Riley. Riley trying to take over the race lead as they work their way off of turn number 4. It's going to be Casey Murdoch, followed by the 55 of Keith Riley, Aaron Spangler, Cameron Spangler, and those team cars, the 16 and the 2, as once again Murdoch leaves the door open off of turn number 2. That allows the 55 of Riley to pull up to his inside. Couldn't quite do anything with him, as Murdoch very fast through turns 3 and 4. Pulls it back out to about another 3 car length advantage off of turn 4, heading into 1. So it's Murdoch, Riley, and the Spanglers. Your top 4, Miles Morris, he's moved up a couple of spots into 5th. So move Morris up from 7th to 5th here, trying to collect those passing points here tonight. And now Murdoch finally has figured out whatever plagued him there those couple laps there in turn number 2, as he is driving away from the 55 of Riley. And Riley trying to hold off the charge from the Spanglers, as Aaron Spangler about a half car length behind him, headed into turn number 1. Riley kind of pushes up the racetrack right there. You see him get on the brakes and kind of slide it up the track there at the apex of turns 1 and 2. That's going to allow Aaron Spangler to look down to his insides. White flag flies for your race leader, Casey Murdoch. Murdoch holding a pretty wheel through the middle of turns 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. One final time through 3 and 4. Checker flag will wave. It will be the 7X of Casey Murdoch picking up heat race win here in heat number 1.
Checker flag is out. 7 and 5.
I guess there was a driver change. That's Joey Jock in the 7X. I guess Casey went home. So Joey Jock taking over the 7X. So I'll get that updated in my scoring. As we get ready for heat race number 2. Once again, for you folks watching on the free preview right now on IMCA.TV's Facebook page, you can get the whole night of racing tonight here for a Sunday night for $24.99. So if you like what you see, go head over to IMCA.TV and get the package, as we have 5 classes here tonight and some great racing is in store. It's been great all weekend long. Here at the IMCA Freedom Nationals, brought to you by Crandall Pest Control. On the pole here in heat race number 2 in the XL Towing, XL Hose, Crazy J's those 3Ls. Going to be Gavin Meeks of the ASC Motorsports Arizona Differential Creative Air Conditioning AA Barricade Company 14E. Friday night's main event winner is Justin Erickson. This is Richards Foothills, Red Trucking, Victory Graphics, Tractor Supply Co., GSC Goody Speed Center. Number 3D of Dell Ottman with the signs Racing 25JR of AJ Signs. This Taz Bully's got Racing Arizona Differential 11 Taz of Tanner Sarter. At Casa Grande, Arizona, the Aftermath Motorsports IRP Race Cars, Mobac Suspension, Schaefer Oil 303 of Kyler Reynolds. And rounding out the field of 7, the JDJ Speed Dirt Works, Brian Brewster got Racing, Nana Papa. Number 7 is Jesse Johnson Jr. We got the Rice family checking in from Texas on IMCA.TV. I'm a fellow Texan, so howdy. Thank you, Matt, Maria, Haley, and Savannah for tuning in with us here tonight.
Oh, no. Yeah, he'll just run that. He'll just tag it. Who is it? Let's go ahead and go for it, guys. Lights out. We're going to fire them off.
As the lights are out, we're going to go green this time by at the cone. Green flags in the air. We're underway. And Justin Erickson will lead the field off at turn number 2 with AJ Signs side by side with the 303. Or with the 3D, excuse me, of Dell Ottman. Or 3L, Gavin Meeks. Get my 3s confused out there on the racetrack. Gavin Meeks moves into that, or falls down to that 3rd spot. Then it's the 303 of Kyler Reynolds. Trying to reel him in. As behind them, they go side by side. Jesse Johnson in the number 7 machine. He'll pull to the inside of the 3D of Dell Ottman and take over the 5th spot. As out front, it's going to be Justin Erickson showing the way. Erickson through turns 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway by about 4 car lengths. He has the advantage right now over AJ Signs. So they're straightaway back to the battle for 3rd. That's starting to heat up as Gavin Meeks has that spot. Jesse Johnson and Kyler Reynolds, though, they go side by side and they're reeling in the 3L of Meeks. Reynolds had to hold off a hard charge there from the number 7 machine of Johnson, who peeked his nose down the inside of him. Reynolds with a good drive off of turn 4 that last time by. Now he's going to try to put the pressure on the 3L of Meeks. So they work their way through turns 3 and 4. Johnson once again goes up underneath the 303 of Reynolds. It's still Reynolds hanging on to that 4th spot. Out front, no change. Justin Erickson still continues to lead this race by about 3 car lengths over AJ Signs in the 25 Junior Hot Rod. Then it's going to be the 3L of Gavin Meeks, driver out of Sholo, Arizona, with Kyler Reynolds and Jesse Johnson side by side for the 4th spot. Once more, Johnson throw a slide job on him. He's going to complete the pass off of turn number 2. 1 car slow. That's your 2nd place runner, AJ Signs. He will bring out the yellow flag in turn number 4 as he comes to a stop. All right, lights are out as the cleanup is complete in turn number 4. And the green flag will fly once more. So Erickson and Reynolds, the top two. Now as Reynolds made the move over Gavin Meeks and will drive away from Jesse Johnson as well after those two were battling hard. A couple laps to go for that 4th spot. Now it's going to be Reynolds in second, trying to put the pressure on the 14E of Justin Erickson. Erickson, the main event winner on Friday night. Right now showing the way here in the second heat race of the evening for your IMCA Sport Mods. He's only got about a 2-car length advantage as Kyler Reynolds starting to put the pressure on him. White flag flies this time as Jesse Johnson almost took that 3rd spot away from Meeks. Justin Erickson off of turn number 2 down the backstretch. One final time here in heat race number 2 for the Sport Mods. He'll lead the field off a 4, checker flag in the air. He'll win heat race number 2 over Kyler Reynolds, Gavin Meeks, and Jesse Johnson.